Did you know that Falcon can combo up air into knee?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Oh, no, not like that. I mean rising up air into knee. Autoslip combos are not new, but they're not exactly widespread either. You really only see them from a select handful of Falcon players. And it's a real shame too, because I can practically guarantee that you've missed out on free kills off of a grab at like 30ish if you've never learned it. TheGOAT put together a nice quick guide on autoslips about a year ago, but it never got the attention that it deserved, and that's going to be linked in the description. I recommend giving it a watch. Autoslip is a technique that can save between 3 to 6 frames compared to just landing and buffering your next aerial. When you consider that 3 frames is the difference between a true combo and an air dodge, you start to get a sense for just how busted this tech can be. The thing about autoslip combos is that they're less of an execution check and more of an awareness check. The inputs are easy, but your positioning has to be very precise. It's one of those things where you don't necessarily fish for it or look for it as a win condition, but if you recognize the opportunity, you can delete a stock at percents that make Falcon look like fighters past 0. Now let's talk mechanics. It'll be easier to spot an autoslip opportunity when you know what's going on under the hood. Back in 64 and Melee, you had ledge canceling, where you could cancel your landing lag by landing near a corner with enough momentum to push you over the edge. But in every game since Melee, they tightened up security, and made it to where only certain specials were allowed to ledge cancel. Landing lag from aerials will just prevent you from going any further once you hit the edge, no matter how fast you were going. And that's where auto cancels come into play. See, the 4 frames of landing lag that you get during an auto cancel are not actually associated with the aerial. It's just empty landing lag, the same as you'd get from landing without an aerial. And why should the game care if you want to empty land and keep going off stage? Go right ahead.
I sense no danger here.
So normally, you would spend 7 frames on the ground, 4 from the auto cancel landing lag and 3 from jump squat. But with an auto slip, you can cut that down to just 1 single frame if your positioning is just right. Even a bad auto slip will at least skip jump squat, and like I mentioned earlier, 3 frames can easily still be make or break. So what happens after the slip? There's good news and bad news. The good news is, it's super easy to get a forward air because you need to be holding forwards to slip off the ledge in the first place. The bad news is, it's not super easy to get anything else because you need to be holding forwards to slip off the ledge in the first place. There's nothing stopping you from just buffering your double jump or whatever and manually timing whichever aerial you want afterwards, but that does get a little bit fiddly when you're managing everything else in the moment. Bear in mind that an auto slip jump does consume your double jump. Auto slip sometimes gets confused with another mechanic called a coyote jump, which lets you use your first grounded jump even though you're technically in the air off stage. It also gets confused with IDJ because people see the double jump rings and then double jump to conclusions. Now let's talk application. There are 2 easy autoslip setups that you'll want to work into your game plan for sure, a third one that's harder but still surprisingly practical, and then everything else is mostly just going to be oddball plays. The most practical setup is a plain short hop up air fast fall in the corner. It's nice and easy to set up with basic stuff like down throw or raptor boost. TheGOAT's guide even had a really nice example using up tilt at ledge roll distance. The second most practical setup is full hop up air fast fall onto the corner of a platform. This is a little bit less reliable because their DI and the size of their character might let them tech on the platform at the percents where you'd want to go for this. It takes a little bit of extra matchup experience, but it's worth looking for. The third option is known as the bungler combo. You start with the standard IDJ up air sequence, but you land on the platform with Nair 1 instead, which gives you a bonus up air into an auto slip knee. This is a great way to put them a little bit closer to the side blast zone and tack on some extra percent. This is also really good at messing up their DI because you're adding an extra hit. There are a few other ways that Falcon can auto-slip, but they're not super practical. You can find some fun training mode stuff with IDJ back air or neutral air onto a platform, but at that point you're probably just giving up on your normal game plan just to fish for something. Here's a few closing thoughts before we wrap up. A well-spaced auto-slip will save a good amount of time, so if you need to spend a couple extra frames in the air getting into position before you fast fall, you should still come out plus. Pretty much any auto-slip combo will fall apart to DI out. You just don't have any floor left to chase them and make up the distance like you usually would. You might get a nice frame trap if they manage to dodge your knee, but remember that you've already burned your double jump. Trust your judgment and try not to overcommit. And finally, sometimes you'll take stocks ridiculously early even if the combo is super fake, just because you can knee them right as they start to hold out to DI a standard combo. Autoslip combos are all about situational awareness. Spend a lab session or two getting a feel for the inputs and you'll start picking up on opportunities in no time. Hit all those YouTube engagement things so the video gets some traction. I really do want to see more Falcons taking advantage of this. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one.